Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Code with Abhinay. In the previous video, we have discussed the full stack web development roadmap and understood how modern websites are built. But before we start writing any code, we first need to prepare our development environment. Just like any other field, web development also requires a few basic tools. Also, one small thing that I would like to tell you is, in the first video, I explained most of the concepts in Telugu because many beginners feel more comfortable starting in their native language. But from now on, I will try to explain the concepts mostly in English so that the tutorials are easy for wider audience. And as English is mostly understandable, I will try to even make sure to keep the things as simple as possible. Still, కొన్ని ప్లేసెస్లో క్లారిటీ కోసం ఐ ట్రై టు కమ్యూనికేట్ ఇన్ తెలుగు బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ స్టిల్ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఎనీథింగ్ ప్లీజ్ ఫీల్ ఫ్రీ టు ఆస్క్ మీ ఇన్ ద కమెంట్స్. ఐ విల్ డెఫినెట్లీ ట్రై టు హెల్ప్ యూ అవుట్. సో ఇన్ టుడేస్ వీడియో విల్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద థింగ్స్ దట్ వీ నీడ్ టు స్టార్ట్ ఫర్ వెబ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ that are necessary for web development, which browser we should use, which code editor are we going to install. So first of all, what do we seriously need to start web development? I know many beginners think they need a very powerful computer to start coding, but actually that is not true. To start web development, we only need few basic things. We first of all require a computer, okay, or a laptop also works fine, where we can write and run our code. It can either be Windows, Mac or Linux. Any operating system works perfectly fine. Coding start cheyadaniki high-end system అవసరం లేదు. ఓకే, అలాగే basic computer skills. So the second most important thing that we have to understand is to have basic computer knowledge. Mari anta advanced em avasaram ledu, nothing very advanced, just simple things like creating files, saving documents, using folders, browsing the internet. Ivi teluste coding start cheyadaniki manam ready. Next, apart from all these things, we even need to have an idea about a web browser. Okay, so a browser basically is a software that develops our website. When we write HTML, CSS and JavaScript, the browser reads the code and converts it into a visual web page. Some of the most commonly used browsers are Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge and Safari. Most developers prefer Google Chrome because it has powerful developer tools. In many systems, Chrome is already installed. If you don't have it installed, don't worry. All the download links are provided in the description. You can just go through them, and if you still feel problem downloading them, just let me know. I'll help you out in the comments. So, apart from the browser, we even need something else, and that is really very important, which would be a code editor or an IDE. IDE basically means Integrated Development Environment. A good editor is the software where we write our code. So some popular editors can be something like Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Notepad++ and Atom. Almost all of them are really good, but we mostly use Visual Studio Code. Trust me, some millions of developers do use Visual Studio Code. You may be thinking, why Visual Studio Code? I'll tell you definitely, but feel free to use any one of them. So if you say why Visual Studio Code, first of all, it is free and open source, which means it is free to download. It is lightweight and fast. It supports many programming languages and it has thousands of extensions. Because of these features, VS Code has become one of the most popular editors among developers. Now let's start installing them. So first of all, open your browser. So I do have Chrome already installed. But if Chrome is not available, you can seriously use any browser available. Most probably for if you're using Windows, you might be having Microsoft Edge and Safari for Mac. Don't worry, you can happily download Google also. I'll share you the link of Google in the description. Since I already do have Google installed in my machine, what I'm going to do is, let me just try to show you how to download Visual Studio Code. First of all, open your browser and search for Visual Studio Code download. So you can see the very first link which you got over here. Click on it. As I've told, my environment basically is Windows, but the plus point of VS Code is it is kind of going to be helpful to run either in Windows, Mac or Linux. Okay, so once you're in this page, simply click on Windows. So you can see it says your download of Visual Studio Code should shortly be started, or if it doesn't, you can directly click on the download link. So it seems to be asking me to download an unverified file. I'm going to continue. So it's going to take a couple of minutes to download. Once the download is done, we will start installing it. So it's almost all done. So once that's done, what we're going to do is simply open it and run the installer. So first of all, we need to accept the agreement. Click on next, and you can pick wherever you want the software to be installed. I'm going to continue in the same directory which is already pre-populated over there. Then I'm going to click on next and next again, and sure, I would like to use a desktop icon, and you can use the other two options also, or you can just try to leave it empty, doesn't matter. Click on next and install. So within a few seconds, VS Code will be installed. And as I mentioned, see, Mac users can, or even Linux users also can download the Mac version or Linux version from the same website. As you can clearly see, they have given the files for downloading over here. Again, I'm telling you, all the download links are mentioned in the description, even with regards to the browser, even with regards to the code editors or the IDEs. Okay, so let's see the process of the installation. So almost 50% is progressed. Let's wait for a few more seconds. First of all, the slowness or the fastness depends upon the processor that you use, or the speed the computer is performing, or the amount of RAM that it is taking currently to run this specific software, okay, to install this specific software. So most of your systems might take even more time or even less time for installation. Okay, so don't worry, just wait until that thing gets installed. And once that is done, so you can see it is already pre-checked over here, which says launch Visual Studio Code already. So I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to click on finish. So the moment I click on finish, you can see Visual Studio Code will be opened. Okay, so if you clearly observe over here, you might be seeing something similar to this, or you might be even having a home page over here and few things available over here. Okay, something like this, few basic navigation you can see over here. Okay, so if this is the very first time using it, the interface might look slightly new, but please don't worry. As we continue building projects, you will quickly get used to it. Okay. Now, see, I would like to talk about very important thing before we end this video, and that would be extensions. Now, before installing extensions, let us understand what extensions are. Extensions are small tools that add extra features to our editor. By default, VS Code is powerful, but extensions make developer much easier and faster. For example, some extensions help us run our website quickly. Some help us format code automatically. Some help us write HTML faster. Since we are learning web development, we will install a few useful extensions, but don't worry if you don't understand them fully right now at least. Now in classes go, coding.js we are going to learn all these extensions one by one. So let's start installing the extensions. So the first most useful extension can be the live server extension. Now first of all, how to install extensions. In the website part, you can clearly see when you hover on each and every of the icon, you see there is this option called extensions. You can click on it. It certainly is taking some time. And there you go. So, the first extension that I would like you to install would be live server. So when I click on it, so you can see I do have two options, disable or uninstall, which means it's already pre-installed with me. Okay, so if it is not pre-installed with you, simply there is going to be an install button, please click on install. Basically, live server allows us to run our website instantly in the browser. Whenever we save our code, the browser automatically refresh. Okay, so the next extension I would like you to install would be Prettier. So Prettier basically is a code formatter, and again you can see it's already installed with me. But what Prettier basically does is it automatically formats our code and keeps it clean and readable.